Since being on TikTok, I've read in my comments and other ladies' comments certain guys saying, oh, it's because you dated the Pookies and the Ray Rays. Wait a minute, there's levels to Pookies and the Ray Rays. I've been treated well by the Pookies and the Ray Rays. I've been spoiled, I've been respected, and I had the most fun with the Pookies and the Ray Rays. And let's not mention, a lot of the Pookies and the Ray Rays own your homes, they own your blocks, they own your businesses.
Pookie wins again. Oh, guys, keep in mind that that woman is a single mother. Okay, remember. So she's most likely used to the Pookies, Ray Rays, Tyrones, and Chaz. You've heard those type of guys being thrown out of the manosphere. Different videos, different content creators have expounded upon those type of individuals. Now, what a Pookie and Ray Ray is essentially is an individual who does not have much direction in his life. He doesn't really follow a certain schedule. He doesn't have a regimen. He's usually out there in the mix. He's out and about doing things over here. He lives a somewhat of a dangerous, on-edge lifestyle. He's usually in the streets doing all types of different stuff, right? He's basically an unproductive individual. And that's what a lot of women want for a lot of reasons. So I'll explain. Sit tight. Now, doing my research and being around some Pookies and Ray Rays, right? There's a lot of those in Chicago where I live. These type of guys, more often than not, they can't really hold a full-time job. Might be part-time here, might have a temp agency gig, then they're out of work, right? They're trying to hustle, they're trying to do this, they're trying to make ends meet, more often than not in illegal ways, somewhat of scammers. They just live life on the edge for the most part, right? And when she said she likes a Pookie and Ray Ray because they're fun, yeah, because they live life on basically a fun sort of wavelength day in and day out. There's no real discipline in the things that they do. So when they wake up, they're like, okay, what am I going to do? I don't know. Let me call her up. Let me do this. Let me go way over here. Let me go over here. So they're always doing different things that really don't have anything to do with being productive and having a quality, stable life. They don't really build, which leads me to the next point. Women want Pookies and Ray Rays because they will always be available. Those type of individuals, the quote-unquote thugs, the a-holes, the bad boys, the Chaz, they're going to always be able to talk to that woman, give her loads of attention, shower her with praise, and just give her a lot of validation because he doesn't have to work like that. He doesn't even have to go out and grind. And this is what a lot of women today's day and age want. They want that guy who's going to be there while they go out to work because that's a safe guy. Believe it or not, Pookie and Ray Ray, Chad, Tyrone, they're just safe guys. This is why oftentimes they have access to a lot of different women. While you as a man are out there working and grinding and moving and doing different things in life and building yourself up for the future, thinking about 5 to 10 to 15 to 20 years down the road, Pookie and Ray Ray's thinking about 5 to 10 to 15, 20 minutes down the road. What's the next lick he's going to hit, right? What are you going to eat in the next 5, 10 minutes? And he relies on women, which leads me to the next point, right? Women love these type of low-life guys, these unproductive individuals, because they will always be able to live under these women's roofs. This is why Pookie and Ray Ray, he usually has a place over here, a place over here, and a place over here. He can bounce to 3 different women. Boom, boom, boom. And he's smashing all 3. He's hooking up and having sex with all 3. And he's playing with their emotions, right? So that gives these women different roller coaster ranges of emotions. He's there one moment. He's not there the next moment. She got to bail him out of jail. She got to go over here, get his car to impound. She got to do this. She got to do that. She heard about, him sleeping with another girl. And all these different women are in the mix. And it's just giving these women something to talk about. See, a stable guy, and I learned, we don't really give women stuff to talk about. I'm not going to give a woman stuff to gossip about and talk about things that aren't really benefiting my life in the long term, right? See, I understand these type of Pookie, Ray Rays, and Tyrones and Chaz. There's a lot of these guys living in Chicago where I live now. I rubbed elbows with them, talk to them, right? They're not horrible individuals. It's that they live a certain life that a lot of women want, right, to be around. And these guys are exciting, yeah, because they're, getting high and getting drunk and doing this, doing that, and they're just, probably fighting and talking about this person. And women want that in their best years, in their early 20s, right? But then when they get 30, when they hit that wall, what do they want? We all know the story. They want a guy who's stable. They're all of a sudden dating with a purpose, but they're coming with 2 to 3 different kids, different baby daddies, and now they want a guy who has a stepdad license. They want a guy who's going to be on his P's and Q's and who's going to take care of her. Now she is done playing the games. Now she wants some serious. We heard all that stuff before. The reason why she said it is because she realized that, man, I can't lock down Pookie or Ray Ray or Tyrone or Chad. See, this is what most of these women will try to do. They'll try to lock these down in their best years, in their 20s. And if they can't do that, they're like, man, I'm going to try to have a kid by him. They get pregnant by this guy, and that doesn't work. So now they got to try to find a stepdaddy, a stable guy. Now, they could have did that in their best years, and it's going to make it even worse for them. So don't take in these women who are Pookie, Ray Ray, and Tyrone lovers, right? Ask these women, so why are you single and you in your 30s, 40s? What's going on? Oh, I just couldn't find the right guy. I'm just doing me. What she's saying by I'm just doing me, or, I just been living my best life. I've been hooking up with low life Pookie, Ray Ray, Tyrone type of guys. No strings attached. So what'll happen is they'll get with you and they'll talk to you and they say, oh, now I'm ready to settle down. Now I'm looking for something serious. Don't play any games with me, right? I'm not about games. You guys heard that and seen that on those dating profiles. So there's a lot of different reasons why women love Pookie and Ray Ray, right? Now, she said that, oh, Pookie Ray Ray is, she had the most fun. It was exciting, right? Because oftentimes Pookie and Ray Ray is trying to basically fight. So she can go out to work and then she can come home and deal with Pookie and Ray Ray. And then she can have something to talk about with her friends, right? She can get into it and they can give her those emotions. She can cry. She can be happy. Pookie and Ray Ray can give her a little necklace with the money that he got from her or the little money that he has. And now she's like, oh, that's great. And then he can, say something mean to her or call her out her name, and now she's like, ooh. So women need those roller coaster ranges of emotions, right? So how is a man that's on his purpose, that's on his mission, that's on his grind, how can he deal with or compete with a Pookie or Ray Ray type of guy, right? My emotions are stable as a man. And women like those hyper masculinity type of guys. Those guys are out there that are pants all the way down and screaming and yelling and doing all this stuff like that. Most times women in their best years in their 20s, they don't want a peaceful guy. And it usually bleeds into their 30s and 40s. Some women never get over Pookie and Ray Ray because deep down they have that love for him. Because Pookie and Ray Ray can put it down, right? You work 10 to 12 hours a day, and sometimes you just want a back rub. But women want a guy who's going to lay the wood and blow their back out. This is why oftentimes married men get cheated on with Pookies and Ray Rays. Right? I talk about the dual mating strategy where a woman has her beta bucks. She has her provider. And now that guy's out to work. He's going to business meetings. He's going out of town doing this, trying to provide and give her a lifestyle that she can't give herself. And she acquires a couple Pookies, a couple side dudes. You probably heard of the term sneaky link, right? If you haven't, now you have. That's when a woman, dives off somewhere, act like she's going to the store or something, and sneaks off and smashes a low-life dude, usually, Pookie and Ray Ray, and she goes back home or goes back to her boyfriend or her husband or provider, right? So don't aspire to be a Pookie or Ray Ray. Don't do that. You don't have to live a crazy life. Those are women who didn't really have a stable home growing up. They didn't have a quality male role model. So what's going on is they just seek out chaos, right? They seek out a lot of confusion because they're confused themselves. And they're trying to find a quality guy, but oftentimes they're not attracted to that good, successful quality guy. So they go for guys who they see growing up. And usually this happens in the inner cities more often than not, right? And because those women don't have good role models and males and biological fathers growing up, they choose the worst type of guys because they have no direction. Yeah, congratulations, she admitted it. She admitted she loved Pookie and Ray Ray. She's a single mother. I mean, of course, right? Those guys are easy. They can be controlled. These women can talk down and treat Pookie and Ray Ray like anything. See, a lot of guys think that those type of dudes, oh yeah, they get a lot of sex, I want to be like them. No, those women behind closed doors, they talk down to those dudes because they don't really respect them, right? They don't really desire those dudes on a long-term level. It's just a temporary type of situation. And they just exchange Pookie and Ray Rays here and there and this and that, right? So don't feel like, man, I got to be like those guys. I got to do this, I got to do that. No. Make sure you stay productive because you're going to attract quality women. Women like that are broken, right? Deep down, they might look somewhat cute and whatever. And, oh, she looks pretty decent. But they're broken inside. And they're always going to long for that guy who's going to be aloof, be unavailable. That guy who's going to treat them good one moment, bad the next moment. The guy who's going to cheat on them and do this and beg her back and then so they can have something to talk about. See, they want a guy who's going to be available, that can please her and worship her, because most women want to feel like queens. At the same time, they want a guy who's like aloof, which is perfect for Pookie and Ray Ray. They've mastered being that type of guy that gets a lot of women in their best years. But don't feel bad because there's tons of women out here, right? There's a lot of women who want a guy who's stable mentally, a guy who has a quality life, who doesn't live life on the edge and doesn't know what he's going to eat or how he's going to pay rent or where he's going to live. So don't think about being those guys. Think about being the best you and being a productive citizen.